Hello everyone, I'm RB. Welcome to my video discussing, recapping and reviewing Love Island. What a tense episode, and let me say the episode ends with poor Mimii as the only single in the villa. However, we'll get back to this in more detail as now to the start of the episode at Casa Amor, where Mimii is ready to see Io. But is he ready? Well, we know, but she didn't. Anyway, at the main villa, Kieran says he can't trust who can't trust him, basically. And Joey sensibly says you haven't had enough time to trust. And it's the moment of truth. Maya is in the building. The boys said that the last few days were fun, but a mixture of emotions, not knowing what's going on. Maya asked the boys, have you found a better connection? And we're about to find out. Connor goes first, and he recouples with Emma. He said it was an easy decision, and we know it was a very obvious decision, but it won't last. Come on now. Meanwhile, Grace is back with Blade. What? She should have chosen Messiah, surely. Anyway, it's revealed Grace and Emma know each other, and Joey looks a tad awkward, kind of quietly red-faced, maybe as he knows he could never be Grace's exact type, but who knows. Then Sean talks about Matilda and how she makes him smile. He said he was like a kid in a sweet shop, and the boys all make faces, basically indicating that that wasn't the right thing to say. But we all know he is like a kid in a sweet shop. And Sean sticks with Matilda, and as I guessed this and put in my review yesterday, but yeah, that's what it was. And Matilda comes in alone, and they're happy. So it's time for the girls to get catty. Got my popcorn ready. Sean said he explored other connections in the villa, but knew they weren't as strong as with Matilda. And Matilda gets it. She said she was in the exact same position and she explored other connections, but none of them compared to Sean. Well, it's all hunky dory, but then when asked, Sean says that the connections were with Ruby and Diamante, and Diamante now puts her 2 pence in, and she said it's weird how he can say she's his priority. However, he did say right now, which I've even picked up on and spoke of yesterday. But then Matilda said, you're not sat here, babe, and Diamante is catty, so being honest, she sort of deserved that. And Diamante, she goes on to say that they kissed in bed, and she said he's not as sweet as she thought he was. And then Ruby adds her 2 pence in, and it was nothing interesting really. So Matilda, though, she has all the lines, and she said it doesn't change anything for her, and that the other girls are not as special to be sitting here. And she said it was early on, and she's not that fussed. So go Matilda. These catty remarks did not work as the other girls had hoped. But what's your opinions? Comment, like, and subscribe. Kieran said he meant the L-bomb. He's never felt like this. Then he sticks with Nicole. The Islanders all look happy for them, and Nicole comes back alone. She cries, and Maya joins her. And I kind of knew that she was crying happy tears from all the previews where they said, why is Maya crying? Anyway, Trey recouples with Ellie, as if we didn't know. Apparently his connection with Jess was embryonic. I did think, what are you on about? And even Maya calls this different. Kieran whispers to Nicole that he knows Ellie, but nothing ever happened, and she sighs. Maybe she'll overreact, but I guess we'll find out. Then Jess walks in with Hugo. She calls Trey by the wrong name. It's Will's turn. He has some nerves. He said he had explored a connection with another girl, and the main villa girls, they look livid, and Maya reveals that they were on the terrace, and Will said he has clarity now. So Will sticks with Uma. I knew it, as guessed from my last video. And Uma comes in alone. She looks relieved, and she said she missed him loads. Will said he had a test with one girl, as she was his normal type. He said that it wasn't for her. He says the girl was Lucy and that they had kisses and cuddles. And this girl, she was graceful in her reply. And Uma looked fuming because she had no kisses and she doesn't know how she feels. Diamante laughs and, like I said, she was the most catty. And Jess calls her out. Uma hugs him but looks upset. He said he'll explain. And then it goes to Joey, and he said he's explored in and out of the villa, but he knew from the beginning his head would not turn. He said it was early days, and he said what will be, will be. And he said they were in a good place, and he's hoping for the best. So Joey sticks with Grace, and Grace looks annoyed and possibly jealous. Anyway, Jessie walks in alone, and she looks shocked to see him alone, and they look happy. and he said he's proving that he's serious. This was also as guests yesterday. That's nice for them. Now to Io. He said he's up in the air. He feels good, and Casa Amor was fun. He said Mimii is a special girl, and he said it was going in the right way. And he feels she did stay loyal. And the main girls look shocked. It's tense times. Io said he's staying true to himself, and he recouples with Jessica. And I also guessed this yesterday. There is shockwaves in the villa, and Uma thought she was in a bad position, but poor Mimii. Jessica is feeling good, as is Io, and he said it was very tough and she calls him very brave, and the main girls look disgusted. Mimii walks in alone. She smiles. Uma is crying for her. I feel for her. We all feel for her at this point. But even though the writing was on the wall and she didn't read the signs, however, at least now her eyes have fully opened. Mimii laughs. She doesn't know what to say, and she says it is what it is. Io says it's not the time now to say anything. Mimii said she stayed loyal, and I'll say it again, she's a loyal babe. She doesn't cry, and she's not allowed any tears to fall. She's the brave one. The Casa Amor boys come in, and Maya leaves the villa. Jessica cries, and it's a possibility that soon Mimii will be joining her in crying. And Connor said all the boys have Io's back. Then Io goes to check on Jessica. Uma said to Mimii that it wasn't all BS between her and Io, and they said, what's Jessica crying about? She got her man. And Uma said, you're way too good for this. And Mimii said he failed the test. But if we're being real here, he failed the test many times prior, like when he kissed Uma in the challenge, and then she said that he failed the test, but she just left it alone. But yeah, she feels like it was a facade, and Uma said it wasn't, but that is wild. Then Nicole and Kieran reunite, and Kieran said she told him that she can't trust him, and Nicole said she's got more trust with him, and she said she slept outside, and Kieran said he stayed in the bed alone, and he said he's never met Ellie previously. It was just a few flirty messages and not an ex. Then Will and Uma chat. She said she didn't test herself, and he said she got to know Io previously, and he thought she was going to get to know others. And she said she slept outside, and she said Blade even told her that, Will just tells you what you want to hear, and that she didn't let it get in her head. And he said him and Lucy shared a kiss in bed and the hideaway. Then he changed his mind, and Uma is livid. Io and Mimii chat. She's now kinda teary-eyed, and Mimii said it's cool and that it's over, basically. Io said, how so? Is he okay? Then he said it just happened that they clicked, and she said she was in deep into this and that it's done now, and she wants someone that is sure about her as she was sure about him. And he said he can't help how he feels, and then she walks away. Yeah, go Mimii, don't let him see the tears. And in the confessionals, she said, how do you go from a good connection to another girl? But was it a good connection two ways? Anyway, Jessica joins Io. He looks emotional. He said it's not her fault. He said he's made his decision. He's happy, and while he didn't want to hurt Mimii and feels horrible, that he's happy, and him and Jessica hug and kiss. So he's been more reassuring with Jessica in like 2 days without any prompting than he ever was with Mimii from the very beginning. And it kind of proves how he's more suited to her. Then Mimi's trying to stay composed, and Uma consoles her. Even when she's upset, I mean, like, what a woman. And Grace feels that saying things like, you owe it to yourself to have a test is just a cop-out. And, where's Jess and all the other girls while this is going on? Meanwhile, Nicole is happy. And then Io tells Will he made the decision for him and not for others. So he's happy with his decision. Then it's nighttime with a normal malarkey, but Mimii sleeps alone as the only single in the villa. So that's where the episode ended. And from my point of view, the episode was a 9 out of 10. It was some tense drama with some chaos thrown in. And also Mimii and Uma were the winners of the episode, as Mimii didn't allow the tears to shed, and Uma consoling her when she had her own issues going on. But what's your opinions? What did you think of the episode? Comment below. Thank you for watching, and catch you for the next episode.